All right, welcome back. You're here on Cape Town TV, DSTV channel 263. Every week we talk about what's happening in the world of West Bromwich Club Rugby. Don't forget, of course, if you are from a club or a club that is watching, this is the one show that allows you to put your sponsors on the show. You just send us your pictures of your jerseys, like you can see in the background there right now. And your sponsors will get extra TV exposure and it doesn't cost you anything. So send in your jersey pictures. In studio with us now, joins us back, Renzel Botman. Renzel, nice to have you back, Meneer. Did you have a good rugby weekend?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jobs. Full rugby weekend. Wasn't on the field, but watched rugby all day on the TV. From Thursday to Monday, actually.
I don't know what's worse, watching rugby for the whole weekend on TV or going out. Alistair,
to the actual game.
You didn't answer that question though. You told us that you stayed at home and you switched off for the whole weekend, but did you actually watch rugby on TV the whole weekend, or did you actually spend time working on the house?
I took a glimpse. I took a glimpse.
All right, folks. Yeah, nobody can resist watching reruns of Cape Rugby TV every weekend. All right, so we've got a couple of interesting games coming up this weekend. Super League A, Super League B, the rest of the Western Bromwich Club Rugby League really does seem to be hitting its sort of starting point. We've done with the testing laps and the pole position finding and all that. This weekend, there are no more festivals, there's no more school rugby, it's all out of the way, and even though we've already played 2 games, 2 rounds, it does feel like the season officially starts this weekend. All right, so this weekend we've got some big games, but let's take a look at the highlights from last week of False Bay and Helderberg, then we'll go to that conversation. All right, folks, there we go. Those, of course, are highlights. False Bay and Helderberg. There's some big matches coming up this weekend. Helderberg are up against Unimill, and False Bay take on UWC. We'll talk about the results there in a second. Helderberg, though, coming out of the halftime, 24-10 over False Bay. Renzel, Botman, let's go to you. For False Bay, this is a similar scenario to the Villagers team. Because UWC gets onto the park this weekend for the first time in Super League A. What do you think False Bay will be thinking going into this game, knowing that they've already had a close game against Helderberg?
Look, for them, just looking at that game against Helderberg, it was a very physical game because it was wet. Obviously, both these teams wanted to play with their forwards, but going into the second game, had a good start, even though it was a loss to them. But I think it was a good start for them. And going into the second game, I think False Bay is just going to continue building on that, confidence builder against UWC, which is back in the Super League A, and it's their first game back. So I think False Bay can count themselves in a very good space.
Yeah. Okay, folks. Alistair, we're going to come to you in a sec, but let's take a look at the last sections of that False Bay Helderberg game. All right, there we go. Helderberg winning there, 36 points to 34 against False Bay. Another close game. 2 points difference only. And folks, by the way that I had it, False Bay could have had that game, Alistair.
Yeah, look, at the game overall, I think it was a tight or competitive game, put it that way,
Yeah.
from both parties. Feeling, we can feel for just missing that kick at the end, to take the win.
Okay, so this coming weekend, Helderberg are playing against Unimil, and False Bay are up against UWC. Same question there. So you guys, both of you and Rings are both saying that Unimil are going to be building on the momentum against the Marties game.
Look, I think both teams coming off the win.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a confidence booster for both teams. What plays in Unimil's favour, they are playing at home, So I think that's going to be a close encounter. And then UWC Falls Bay. UWC's first game back. They've been off for, I think, 3 weeks now. Falls Bay has been playing good rugby for the first 2 weeks of the league. So that's going to be a tough one at the Bay.
All right. We'll take a look at the full set of fixtures when we come back after the break. Don't forget, of course, you can stand a chance to win a case of Score energy drinks as well. We'll bring you our competition, and we'll announce last week's winner of this week's case of Score. We'll be back after the break. Don't go away.